Greetings, my saplings. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Bape Dame 4s. To be more specific, we're going to be talking about the black or purplish colorway in addition to the green colorway. We will not be talking about the friends and family one today. Regarding these two shoes though, we will be talking about some release info, we will be talking about how to cop them, some resale predictions, and details on the shoe. Like always, you guys know what's up. So to start it off, let's talk about some release info. There will be a pre-release for these, and then there will be a main release. I believe that the pre-release will be on February 18th. This could definitely change. All we know for sure is that it's going to be around All-Star Weekend. The reason I'm speculating that it's going to be on the 18th is because if you head on over to ADIDAS.com, if you type in Bape Dame 4, it will show you that they're coming out at 9 a.m. on ADIDAS.com. So I don't exactly know if they are going to be releasing on the 18th on ADIDAS.com. If you ask me, I don't think this is the case. I think that they will release on ADIDAS.com on February 24th. I believe that February 24th is the main release for them. Now, this could definitely change. So, in that case, if you're not in LA, because the pre-release is supposed to be in LA on All-Star Weekend, and this could be the 18th. If you're not in LA, what I would advocate doing is going on ADIDAS.com at 9 a.m. Eastern Time and treating it just like it's the real release. Because even if there's no countdown, you never know what Adidas could pull on us. They've done some weird stuff in the past, so maybe, just maybe, they'll still do a pre-release on the 18th on ADIDAS.com as well as the 747 Warehouse Street place. Of course, this isn't certain. What I think is going to happen is that it's going to be on February 24th for the ADIDAS.com release, as well as perhaps we'll see some consortium releases, those of which I will keep you updated for. So for that, if you happen to be new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on that. But as of now, all we know is that it's going to be either the 18th or 24th on ADIDAS.com, perhaps even both. If you ask me, I think that it's going to be the 24th though. So the retail price for these, if you were wondering, it is going to be $150 US. I'm not exactly sure which countries are getting them. Obviously, the pre-release is only in LA, or perhaps it will be ADIDAS.com as well. So I'm not sure if they're in your country. What you can do to find out, I guess, is go to ADIDAS.com, and when you're on there, type in Bape Dame 4. If nothing comes up, chances are your country isn't getting them. Alright, so with the release info out of the way, why don't we talk about how to cop them? I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to get these shoes. One, on ADIDAS.com, obviously, but as we get closer to the release date, the main release date, which is probably the 24th, I will keep you updated on all the raffles to sign up. I'll try to teach you guys some jigs on how to sign up for multiple raffles. In this case, though, I'm just going to be going over ADIDAS.com because we don't know what consortium stores are going to be getting them, if any. So I'm going to be giving you 10 tips on what to do on ADIDAS.com when these things release, how to get the best chances possible to get them without a bot, of course. This is a channel to cop without a bot, trying to look out for all you manual users. So to kick it off, tip number one, you must open one tab for each shoe. So there's two shoes obviously releasing. There's the green one and then there's the black one. You should have two tabs, one for one of them and one for the other one. And the reason I say this is one could definitely have much more stock than the other. More importantly, one could just simply have more demand than the other. Moving on to tip number two, get a friend to help you, because this is going to be a first come first serve release. I have not seen any splash page release for anything other than Yeezys. Moving on though to tip number three, you definitely need autofill set up. And a lot of you guys were saying, why is autofill necessary when ADIDAS.com gives you 10 whole minutes to check out? Here's the problem with that. When it comes to Yeezys, obviously, you have 10 minutes to check out, right? Okay. I don't even think they have the timer anymore. You could just sit back, relax, take your sweet time checking out. However, on first come, first serve releases, even if it says you have 10 minutes to check out, do not go by that, because you can definitely get cart jacked. It has happened to me in the past, and it's not fun at all. So why in the world would you take your sweet time checking out when you could simply just set up autofill? It took me maybe like a minute and a half to set up my autofill, so I don't understand why you wouldn't do this. So to set up autofill, if you don't know how to do this, you have to go to settings in Google Chrome. When you go to settings, you scroll down, hit advanced, keep scrolling down, and you'll see manage autofill. Click on that. You gotta fill in your address information, your personal details, also fill in your credit card info. If you have 3 credit cards, definitely fill it out for every single one. So this means when you get to adidas.com, when you have it in your cart, the only thing you have to do is type in the first letter in your name. And this has to be on Google Chrome. Type in the first letter of your name. I would type in K. Then everything would be highlighted. You just click OK or whatever it is. Fills everything in for you. And I believe maybe you have to select your state because it's a selection thing. That's about it. And then for credit card info, all you would have to do is type in your security code, I believe. Tip number 4. I would strongly recommend not using PayPal if you have credit cards. Now, I understand PayPal works the majority of the time, but some of the time it's inconsistent. And that if you have the option to use credit card or PayPal, definitely go credit or debit card. I don't understand why you would go with PayPal if PayPal has been known to be inconsistent. A lot of times when you try to sign in for PayPal, you get an error when you click process payment, and it's really frustrating because by the time you've gotten that far, all the sizes are already sold out. Majority of the time, PayPal does work. I'm just saying if you have the option to go with credit card, go with that. Tip number 5. If you see that they have released but no sizes are showing up, obviously the first thing you want to do is refresh the page. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and sometimes this only occurs on your browser or only on your device. So what I would advocate is if you have multiple computers, definitely have both tabs, one for each shoe, set up on each device that you have. Say you have 2 computers, 2 tabs per computer. Just in case you can't select the size on one, you don't want to have to be stuck there for a whole nother minute waiting for sizes to pop up. If you don't have multiple devices though, that's completely okay. All you got to do is maybe open more tabs on another browser because sometimes it's the browser that's the issue. Tip number 6. You have to refresh 2 times. The first time you have to refresh is around like maybe 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And the reason I say this is if you've had the timer running for a half hour, maybe even 20 minutes, there is a slight delay. And then you also want to, of course, refresh at 2 seconds. 2 seconds is kind of like my bread and butter because it takes about 2 seconds for the site to refresh. If you refresh at 1 second, you might be a little too late. If you refresh at 4 seconds, you might get stuck at the 1 second mark, but for the most part, you don't have to refresh. I just like to refresh for safety, that's all. Tip number 7, avoiding the CAPTCHA. To avoid the CAPTCHA, you need to be signed in to your Google Chrome account, not your Adidas account. We'll talk about that later. You need to be signed into your Google Chrome account before the actual release, and therefore you will be able to avoid the CAPTCHA. All you're going to have to do is select a box, you just check it off, and then you could go to checkout. Simple as that. Step number 8, you have to avoid the processing payment loop, and to do this, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first way is simply to back up, like hit the back button, and fill out all your info again, which should be super easy considering you have autofill. Now, plan B is obviously make sure you're signed into your Adidas account, and if you're signed into your Adidas account, go to another browser, completely separate browser, sign into your Adidas account there, and it should be in your cart, check out there, and you should not have the processing payment loop. Tip number 9, this actually happened in the UK for the Human Race release. Even though it was set for 10 a.m. Eastern time or whatever time it was there, they didn't release for an entire 40 minutes, which is kind of wild. So if you don't see that they release on the 24th or even on the 18th, at least give them an hour of maybe constantly just refreshing. I know it's tedious, guys, but for those of you who really want to cop, if they don't show up, I would say just keep refreshing because sometimes it is a little late. One of you guys who commented in my videos actually let me know about this. And I just want to say thank you because this is important information. That's going to lead me to tip number 10. Peruse the comments. Tons of you guys actually put out great information from your experience. A lot of you guys have tips too. So if you have any tips, share them in the comments, please. I want to know them. Tons of other people want to know them too. So this is a community, guys. It's not just a channel. Okay, so with all that out of the way, that is how you cop them. Those are my 10 tips for copying on adidas.com. So now let's talk about some resale predictions. First thing to keep in mind is that the retail is only $150 US. That is like nothing. That is super, super cheap, so that leaves tons of room for profit. More importantly though, I think it's obvious, this is a Bape collab, so that's obviously going to increase demand to the fullest extent possible. Now we just know that it is a Bape collab again, so it is going to be limited. This isn't going to be a super GR, so I'm going to have to go ahead and say yes. profit is guaranteed on these shoes, especially considering that low retail price. If you don't like this shoe, I would still say go for it. If you have a chance, maybe double up on it or whatever, because I do think you will be able to profit from these shoes. Of course though, if you do like the shoes, get them to rock them. They're honestly really cool shoes, I'm not gonna lie. Finally, to finish the video off, let's talk about some details on the shoe. To kick it off, we can see that both pairs are identical in regards to pattern. Obviously, the color is a little different. To start off, we have Bape's iconic shark teeth. We also have the WGM, and of course, we have Adidas branding on it too. We got those 3 stripes in the back. And on the upper of the shoe, we have the Bape face mixed with the camouflage upper. With that though, I am out of here. Feel free to leave a like, guys, if you guys learned something. If you happen to enjoy the video, perhaps, if you happen to be new, make sure to subscribe. I'm always keeping you guys updated on the hyped releases, the stuff that's going to be difficult to get. And of course, I also do some reviews, whether the shoe is going to be hyped or not. If I like the shoe, I'm going to review it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. With that, I am out of here. Have a fantastic day.